And welcome back to the Captain's Quadrant. We are fully dilated and ready to jump into this amazing episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. I'm Captain Joe Dove. With me, as always, is Jason Roy Gaston. And
Hello.
absent this week, hello. How are you, Jason?
I am perfect. Thank you. Thank you very
Oh, that's
much. I don't
amazing.
know what my hair is doing right now because I look like Chekhov in the third season, but yeah.
We are looking for nuclear vessels. Well, it is so good to be here with you, ready to dive into this unique episode of the Lower Decks season. And I am so glad to see the John Lennon spectacles are back. So,
Yes.
yay.
I also kind of look like the bad guy from No Country for Old Men right now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah,
Wow.
you're right. Yeah.
How much you ever bet on a coin toss, friendo?
um Unbeknownst to us, we had a switch last minute. Unfortunately, Jason, VHS Jace, was otherwise occupied. He had some very important things to maintain and manage. He had his own Inner Light special to kind of go on. So we wish him luck into that spectrum of the universe. So for now, let us give you your moment to jump into the Agamus synopsis.
Here we go. The synopsis of this episode brought to us by ChatGPT, augmented by Agamus. Here we go. In the Star Trek Lower Decks episode Fully Dilated, Tendi, Mariner, and Rutherford rally to support T'Lyn during her struggles with Vulcan traditions and personal growth. Meanwhile, Boimler and the Cerritos crew engage in an absurd mission involving sentient plants with unpredictable consequences. Amid the chaos, the team grapples with friendships, career aspirations, and Starfleet values. Hilarious mishaps ensue, but the crew learns to embrace their quirks, further solidifying their bonds as lower deck officers.
Wow, that is should I say inaccurate?
That is, I would go further saying Agamus is lying to us right now. Although I do kind of want to see that episode with the sentient plants.
That does sound pretty cool. Like, I wonder what a sentient plant would look like.
It looked like that blue girl from Farscape.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Virginia
But
Hayes character.
Yeah. I don't remember her name, but I just remember she was a plant, wasn't she?
Farscape. Yeah, she was a plant. She was the high priestess.
Yeah. She would be sitting there in the corner going, I need water and sunlight. You just had water and sunlight. I need more water and sunlight.
There was actually an episode of Farscape. It was, I need more light. And this character was also like a photosynthesis type of thing.
It's too cold in here. I'm wilting.
All right, well, let's hop into First Contact and get into this episode. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Hi, everybody in the chat. We'll get to you guys in a bit. Thanks. Pa'u. She was a 4th level Pa'u, and I can't, like, I'm such a huge fan of the show. It's slipping my mind. I know who the actress was that played her. It's killing me, man. You've done it to me. I'm like, I know this character. Sand. It was Sand. Sand. Yeah, Sand. Yeah. Ha. All right. So that has nothing to do with Star Trek. Let's hop into Star Trek. Jason, Roy, Gaston, sir, if you please, what is your first contact with this episode?
As you know, last week I proclaimed it the worst episode of Lower Decks ever because I was just not that impressed with it. Granted, it's for a worst episode ever, still pretty strong. This week, my favorite of the season. Absolute favorite, hands down. I think everything from the timing to the story to the themes. Had a couple of problems with characters a couple of times, but overall, extremely strong episode, and I enjoyed it immensely.
Totally agree with you. I thought this is a fantastic episode. I absolutely love how they managed to squeeze in a legacy character, like they've been doing kind of this season. Just a little bit, just a tip of Data was in this one, which I thought was amazing. Oh, that probably sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. I mean, Data was there.
Well, when you're fully functional, that's all you need.
Yeah, exactly. And how about that purple Enterprise D? That looked cool. First time getting to see an animated D. I think that also sounds wrong.
Again, it depends on what kind of cartoons you're into.
That's true. But there's
been a few purple Ds on those as well.
Yes. Oh, this is devolving quickly. I thought Purple Enterprise D was incredible, and the conversation that Data had with um, Captain Freeman was it was kind of hysterical when they came to this conclusion after all the hilariousness ensued in their Inner Light episode. Now, I find it also. Did you chuckle a little bit when they basically were doing an Inner Light riff? Because I can't stand that episode, and everybody else loves it. Did you think at all about
I
that? You
still
probably didn't.
can't get over that you hate that episode. It's the
Not a
Inner Light
fan.
is so beautiful.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
pretty.
I enjoy the way that. Oh, I enjoy the way that they have this almost. They don't really break the fourth wall, but they do gently caress it every now and again.
Mhm.
And so it's always fun to see them do that. It's always fun to see them take a, let's face it, a very formulaic story and just go in a completely different direction with it. Just say, yeah, this is a formula. This is Carbon Creek. This is the Inner Light. This is a blink of an eye. But we're going to go this way. And
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Plus, I really love how the legacy character was a surprise.
It was very. I
I
didn't see that
didn't
coming at
know
all.
I didn't know Brent was going to be in an episode. And I think it's funny every time that Lower Decks spoils a legacy character appearance, it's always nothing more than a glorified cameo. You know,
Right.
they're in there for, they did with Q that one time. And whenever they keep it quiet, it's like a major character. And I just
Yeah.
love that. I love the way that this show is marketed.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to get me is when Data. Excuse me. When we finally get Ensign Kim, who was a big deal in the commercial and the trailers, are we going to get him as just like an overbridged cameo? Just like a.
Yeah. That's my thought, is he's just going to be a cameo.
Oh wow, that would suck. I really hope that's not the case, but
We do get to see him as a lieutenant, though.
Yeah, at least he got
that has
promoted.
been so many years in the making.
Yeah, 9 years or 30, depending on
way
your
too
perspective.
many years. Way too many
years. I really did dig this episode. I laughed a lot, especially when they had the little creepy troll guy, Shrek looking thing running around like creepy on them. Yeah.
He
And
is
even
lurking in
made
this
like
direction.
yeah, yeah.
I love that character so much. It was just It was just basically, we know that he's that stereotypical character, so we're going to lean into it as hard as we can.
Right.
I don't even remember his name, but one of my favorite gags in this episode is whenever he's standing at the front door and he's just like, I know you're up to something and I will not rest until I find it out. And then Mariner just hits him with a broom. Just, no, go away. Go away. I was laughing so hard at that. I mean, just like I was audibly laughing at this episode. And that doesn't happen a whole lot with me. I mean, I will watch a funny joke and I'll go like that. But I was letting go some gut busters during this episode. And it's mostly T'Lyn. How is T'Lyn so funny without even trying?
She's amazing. Like, and it's just so one tone.
I want her shampoo. I want my hair to be. I want my hair to be shiny and flowy and smell like grape.
And she created those grapes. Like, how crazy was that she was able to like science that planet and then made fruit in abundance, ginormous fruit in abundance, and how much it drove Tindy crazy was hilarious to me.
Also, we are very rich now.
Yeah, globs. Globbers. Yeah, we have an unlimited
globbers. Yeah.
No. Yeah. And then they lived in the abandoned house. Like, how perfect was that? A random abandoned house in the corner, like away from everything enough where they can kind of get away from society so they wouldn't be overlooked. But how another thing that I thought was absolutely hysterical were the fact that the reason why they got stuck there was because those guys are having a ball in the drinking where they're not supposed to be drinking in the transporter room, and they try to like scoop it up with their shirts, and then they start licking it up. I was like, what? This is evolving so quickly, and in such a hilarious way.
I just loved Mariner's line about, I can't wait to hear how those two messed up standing in a transporter.
Oh my goodness. And we also got a nice little moment from your favorite character.
Oh yes, I
The
love
doctor,
it
yeah.
when Dr. Ta'ana has things to say. I'm a doctor, not a whatever the F this is.
Yeah, that's a line that we've always expected someone to say at
Yeah.
some point, but we finally got it. And it happened and it came to fruition in this episode. This was so brilliantly done. This
Would
is
you,
a
would you
highlight.
like me to carterize your nose? That would be appreciated.
Yeah, everything is going to smell like poop on that planet to me. So, yeah, the comedy was so on point and the timing was
It
so
was
excellent.
great.
Yeah.
It was
Did you notice that the on the pad that Boimler got from other Boimler had a picture of him and Tiana drinking that same drink?
Yes,
You
I did. I did because
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's where they got the drink idea from. Yeah.
Yeah. I just I didn't see it when I first watched it. And then when Tandy brought it up to them, it's like, oh, okay, so they got it from the iPad, but I just assumed that was what she was saying. And then I watched it again, and then I saw it. I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. I thought that was very hilarious.
The
Um,
iPad.
yeah, that iPad. So I thought the interaction with Data was actually amazing too when they found him in the crash ruins. But what you think his body's still be on that planet, or because
Oh
it
no.
wouldn't burn up? No.
No. That body's gone. They had
Oh,
a whole year to look for it. It's gone.
but did they look for it?
Oh, you know they did. You know that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mariner was on her game at the very beginning of this episode before she became so infatuated with having an inner light experience. She was
Mm,
being a very capable commanding officer. Talin would not have let it go. Like, if there's a
mhm.
body here, we must find it.
Yeah, that's a
But
good point.
yeah, I'm pretty sure sometime they searched and then they're like, here's a toe, it's dead. I just want to know what is Purple Data going to do when he gets home, though? Is he just going to be like a
Yeah.
head in a jar, like Futurama, or are they going to build him like a new body?
Well,
Is he
since
going
it's
to?
the Enterprise and Purple Enterprise D, there's a Purple Enterprise E, therefore another Shinzon. So they'll find the B4. Maybe they put the Data head on the B4 body.
Huh? That's not a bad idea.
See,
But they
look at
don't know
that.
it's there, so yeah.
Not yet. So they'll just kind of put him on a stasis, maybe, or
Yeah.
put like a cheap robot suit. He can run around like was it Bender from Futurama?
Yeah. you may you may kiss my shiny metal ass.
Yeah,
Data, it's
exactly.
not that
Smooth.
shiny. It's shinier than yours, Meatwad.
So I think that's where I would lead it to more or less in the grand scheme of things, that they would eventually find B4's body and put him on that. Um, I also want to know like what else was purple. Are the carpets purple on the Purple Enterprise? The Purple
You
Enterprise, it just put so much in my head.
you want
Go
to
ahead.
know if the carpets match the drapes, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Oh
sure
man.
everything is purple. Everything.
Yeah, yeah. And I love how Data found it like ironic. Why? What color is your Enterprise? It's not purple. Missed opportunity. No, it's just a standard gray.
Because
Do you believe
you
that?
notice that Data's head was kind of purplish too. I mean, I'm just
Yeah, I did
assuming
notice
that
that.
everything is purple in the purple universe.
So we have a purple Picard,
Yeah,
and
it's not
George
shades of
Lazenby's
gray.
purple.
It's not shades of
Shades
gray.
of
It's
purple.
shades of purple.
Yeah,
It's not
and
the
when it
Q in the
rains.
gray. It's the Q in the purple.
Yeah, I believe that we're gonna get. I really want a full Enterprise D episode, Purple D, in that universe.
Don't say
Are we
purple
gonna get?
D anymore, please.
Yeah, I'll try not to. I'll force myself not to say that again.
Yeah.
Do you believe that? Sorry. Do you believe that we are going to get a culmination of what's going on with these futures? These, uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's going to be
because
the season. That's going to be the season finale / series finale. It's got to be.
I was thinking maybe we would get it, probably the ninth episode, and then that's what would ultimately lead us to maybe everything coming back. Maybe we'll get all these cameos once again in fruition in this last episode.
I just have a feeling that we're going to see bearded Boimler again. and
Mhm.
he's going to give our Boimler a very stern talking to about
And stealing his iPad.
steal my pad. Secondly, you gotta be your own man. You can't be a man somebody else is already.
Yeah.
We're all about journeying to final frontiers and discovering new things, not copying what other people are doing. I just
Right.
see that happening.
Do you think we'll run into Section 31, Boimler?
I don't know. I don't know how they would squeeze it in unless he's the reason all this is happening. I don't
Oh,
know. I would
that's an
love to
interesting
see
theory.
I would love to see William come back. I just don't know how they'd fit it in. I don't know
Yeah.
how they'll do that and the butt bugs that I'm sure will show up at some point or another.
Well, they're kind of done with the butt bugs, aren't they? Like that wasn't an
Nah,
open ended. It's
nah.
always the
Butt
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 bugs
bugs will
for
be
Jason.
back. Butt bugs will be back.
It's always the butt bugs. All right, well, let's say hello to everybody in the chat and see what's going on there. All right, well, some good news. My mom's iPad was fixed, so she made it, and she's still awake.
Yay!
So Cosmic Mom says hello for the first time in some
Is
time. We're very glad to
is
see
her
you.
iPad red with a 1.2% deeper bevel?
No,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
It's actually black.
Oh,
It's
nice.
just a black one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Juggle Rocks, prove you're from the northern region. Oh, yes. That's very true. AI was drunk. Yes, that is for certain. Hello,
Yes,
gentlemen.
yes. Agamus was hitting some of that good blurble. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello to you too.
Hello. A sentient plant would look like Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, it would end up eating the crew of the Cerritos in the long run.
That
At
would
least
be an
that.
unexpected series finale. I would say that.
Yeah, right. Just the plant eats the whole ship, and that's how it ends. Wow, who knew? Who knew? Feed me Seymour.
I
Fun fact:
highly
Little Shop.
suggest that we do not, in fact, feed the plant.
Yeah, it would probably not be the wisest of decisions.
Yes.
Fascinating. Fun fact: Little Shop of Horrors in 1986 is actually a remake of a film in the 60s that had Jack Nicholson in it. I did know that actually.
Well, if you want to get technical,
Uh-oh.
there is a stage play in between the two, and Little Shop of Horrors from 1986 is based off the stage play, which is based off of the Little Shop of Horrors from the 1960s that does star Jack Nicholson as the dentist patient.
Yeah,
Just
he's
saying.
the Bill Murray of the.
Yes, he's the Bill Murray. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Purple is the best color.
Yes.
Purple is the color of power. There's a lot of love for purple
Yes.
today. One of my all-time, my figure universe. One of my all-time favorite moments in Star Trek was seeing a second Defiant that they gave Cisco because it was purple on the inside.
Was it purple on the inside? It's been so long since I've seen the last episodes of
That-
Deep Space Nine. I'll have to go back and revisit them.
That was the Sao Paulo that they changed the name to Defiant.
Yes.
Yeah. The one that didn't get blown up.
Yes.
The best T'Lyn episode. The best T'Lyn line of the episode. And now we're rich.
And now we're rich. Yes.
And now we're rich. It was Prince Roger Nelson's favorite color. That's the reason Letitia Gatash. Okay. My figure universe says there's always a possibility that a purple universe could reappear in the Lower Decks comic series. Oh, yes.
I need to read that comic series.
Yeah.
I kind of dropped out of reading comic books. I need to get back into it.
Yeah. I think our buddy My Figure Universe might be doing one or two of the covers. I know he does some comic covers. So there is a distinct possibility that he has some involvement in that. So that would further push me to actually obtain one of the comics so that I could support him and see what's going on in the great legacy of Star Trek Lower Decks. So that would be fun. I get the impression that you don't understand the rocks, and prove that you're from the northern region joke. Yes, that's correct. I don't get that. I have no involvement in the comic whatsoever, nor am I doing any. Oh, not you. Geek Filter. Excuse me.
Geek Filter. Oh my God! Did you get our fans mixed up again?
No.
Oh my
I didn't
God,
get
that is so embarrassing.
I'm talking about our buddy Geek Filter. Sorry, My Figure Universe. I meant to say to you, My Figure Universe. I believe our friend who's been a various guest on the show, Geek Filter, might have done some of the covers. That is a great guy. He does a lot of comic covers for the Star Trek universe. All right, time to move on to Fire at Will.
Fire at Will.
All right, so the season is rapidly approaching an end, therefore an end to the series itself. And I am happy sad about it. I think you're more sad than happy. Do you think all things will be resolved, or are you still in the mindset of VHS Jace that it's going to be just this random open-ended ending?
I've said before, I think it's going to be open ending, number one, because I think that would be the most appropriate place to end it. And number two, they didn't know they were getting canceled, so they're not going to have like some grand finale or epilogue or anything. They're just going to fly off into the sunset and, be forever lieutenants is in our hearts, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I am excited to see what is going to happen. I believe the next episode is Upper Decks, so maybe this will be the Harry Kim cameo that we've been waiting for from the commercial, and knowing what's going to happen is probably legit going to be a cameo, just like Q was. So that's going to be interesting. Any spectacle equations on the horizon? Any spectacular guesses as to what could happen on the Upper Decks episode?
I'm guessing that it's probably going to be focused on the command crew. That's just, I mean, that's the easy answer. It could also be they could run into an alternate universe where the lower decks are the upper decks, but it just feels like that would be a repeat of that season premiere where Mariner was captain. So I'm just going to go with this will be an episode focused on the bridge crew, and I'm cool with that because I love the bridge crew of this show.
Yeah,
and I know I know the show is lower decks, but every now and again I'm just like, I just want an episode focused on Tiana or on Shax or on Jack Ransom or something.
Yeah, Jack Ransom and Shax and Tiana are great characters, and Captain Freeman, of course. So I think if there's hilarity to be seen and chaos to be afoot, it would be amazing on the the command deck command crew. And it would also be funny because they kind of have the same type of outrageous antics that the lower decks crew have. It's just that they're at higher level. So anything goes and anything could happen. I'm all here for it. So that'll be a lot of fun. Of course, we do have to wonder about the future of the crew. I know it's going to be in the comics, but with Section 31 dropping next 2 months, because it's the end of November right now, dropping in 2 months, do you think there will be an opportunity for a Lower Decks movie?
I would love to see some kind of acknowledgement of Lower Decks, even if it's just something like in the Starfleet Academy series, seeing a reference to a great Orion scientist, Dr. Tindy, or Captain Boimler, just some kind of name drop like they did on Prodigy whenever the Doctor mentioned the Cerritos and kind of shuddered. I would love to see something like that, or maybe even just a ship called the USS Shax or something. That would be fun.
Like a far in the future type of thing.
Yeah.
We've got Starfleet Academy dropping, and the next season of the Strange New Worlds, their 4th season. Is Strange New Worlds going to take the path of the rest of the other Star Trek shows and do only 5 and call it a day?
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I hope not.
I was kind of given insider information about why it's that way. It's because after 5 seasons, they have to renegotiate their contracts, and Paramount doesn't want to pay more money than what they have to.
Well, I mean, now that they're bought out and the deal's done, maybe they can get better contractual obligations.
Will greed really go away, though?
Well, greed's never going away, but there is a possibility of them having, strong footing to stand on, and Skydance being the new daddy of Paramount, having more content needed for the channel. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't mind seeing a Paramount Plus exclusive Lower Decks feature one day, kind of
Mhm.
revisit these characters again. But I don't know. I'm kind of pessimistic. I don't have a lot of faith in Paramount's ability to use the Star Trek IP to its full potential. I thought there for a while that they were, and they're kind of letting it slip through their fingers again. And no me gusta.
No me gusta.
No me gusta.
Well, I mean, the new board hasn't kind of put their reins into the company yet. So I am optimistic that we might get some big changes. And knowing that this IP is one of the strongest and the fan base is so huge, and they see the results of the massive amounts of people, even at the smaller conventions, that I think for sure that they will put some deep thought into a proper strategy with the IP.
I just realized you can see my display cabinet of my He-Man figures right there.
There's a break in your holodeck.
Yeah. Let me get that off there. I love you, He-Man, but you don't belong in the Cerritos. You're too qualified.
Wrong show. Wrong show. I did see
I would totally play Masters of the Universe on the holodeck, though.
Yeah, totally. I can see that. Yeah, you versus Skeletor. Well, that would be interesting.
No, I would be He-Man.
Yeah, I was going to say you would probably be. Yeah,
I watched that show for Skeletor. He-Man, you big blumbering boob.
Alan Oppenheimer, what a gem! What a gem!
Yes, indeed.
I think that I can't wait for the rest of the season. With this episode being so strong, it will be hard to measure up. But I know that some legacy characters are going to pop up in the next couple of episodes, so we are going to have a lot of fun on the Lower Decks universe. My Figure Universe even mentions that something about not overstaying your welcome. Do you think that? I mean, here's the thing about overstaying your welcome. Usually,
I'm cringing a lot. On this.
Yeah, overstaying your welcome is usually if you have like 30 episodes per season or 25 episodes per season. You've got so much content that it's a lot, and then it's too much at some point, kind of like maybe Enterprise was. But for modern television, that's all on streaming, you're only getting at most 10 episodes. I really don't feel like it's overstaying. I just feel like we should just get 5 more episodes of anything. You're going to keep it short, only 5 seasons. You might as well just keep the seasons a little bit longer. Not much, just 5 more. I think that would be a lot of fun. You have a cringe. Yeah, you disagree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just see it as, well, one, they're not leaving the audience. You know, they're not bowing out on purpose. That was a Paramount thing. So, I mean, it's not, and the show is definitely, in my opinion, not long in the tooth. I think that they could have easily had another set. They could have done 7 seasons, like I think is the right thing to do. But yeah, I guess it's better to exit the stage and leave the audience wanting more than,
which my favorite said perfect.
Goodness, it was getting
What's
so bad. But I'm just, I don't know. I'm not ready to see these guys leave. I was so fond of this show. Still am fond of the show. Not fond of the show forever. And I really hope that every time that the suits at Paramount who cancel the show stick their hand in a bag of jelly beans, they come out with the Harry Potter ones that taste like earwax.
Or vomit. Isn't there a vomit one too?
Don't know. I don't eat jelly beans that might taste like vomit or earwax. I don't know.
Well, I have, and that goes to show you a lot. But I was curious. Because I'm a curious individual. I'm always wondering.
If somebody says this is going to taste like vomit, I'm going to believe them.
All right, I understand.
You're one of those people who puts their hands on things that says wet paint, aren't you?
No.
It really was wet.
No. I know that. Sure. No. I don't make sure. I don't need, like, if it says don't touch, I don't touch it. But when I'm offered something, especially when it's something edible, I'm always like, oh, I'd like to try that. Is it really this? Oh, it is. They were like, I'm curious that way.
I don't understand, but okay.
Okay.
That is most illogical.
Well, I mean, you remember, oh, this is disgusting. You want to try another one? Yes.
You know what my answer is? This is disgusting. Try it. No. Why would I want to do that? Okay, I
Ah,
have the Talin reaction. Oh, Talin, this is gross. Taste it. Why would I want to taste something gross?
yeah. Everybody's a little different. Everybody different. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. As you know, VHS Jace is not here, so there will be no Star Trek Fight
Oh,
Club.
I
And this time
thought
I won't
something
put
was
the.
missing. Okay. Yes. We'll do it right now. Star Trek Fight Club. Hold on. Icheb
Oh,
versus an ice pick. Oh, they already
oh,
did that.
oh my goodness! Is that how he died? Oh, that is. That's. Oh, wow! I
Good
wish I
for
had a.
try out, kid.
You look
No,
for.
I'm, yeah. Yar versus an oil slick. Don't,
Don't do that again. Um. Oh, that's how you are a lot. Oh man, you're really getting all the rough
yeah.
ones, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know. How about
Well,
Esri versus Jadzia?
oh, that I'd have to get it to Jadzia for the taller. She's taller.
I think that Jadzia would wipe the floor with Esri. And keep in mind, I'm not an Esri hater. I'm really not. I
Yeah, I
honestly
like her.
wish we'd gotten more time with her. But let's face it, Jadzia would grab a Batleth and split Esri from head to crotch in one blow.
Well, wouldn't Ezri know some of the Klingon battle
But
fighting?
she
Because she
would
does have that.
hesitate, though, because she would be nervous.
Well, I mean, it depends because like after the time that she spent in with the symbionts, so she would probably pick up some of that
Yeah, she'd pick up a
knowledge.
little bit, but I think that Jadzia would just like mop the floor with her innards at one point and be holding her heart up in the air and screaming, showering herself with blood, you know,
Jeez,
family
talk about
family stuff.
dark and yeah. So back to the funny cartoon that we
Worf,
watched.
Worf would be sitting in the corner going, "Good job, honey. Good job. Good job." Alexander be in the other corner going,
Yeah, for truth, for truth.
"I want to go back to Russia."
Do you feel like were you surprised that those were horns? Because like the way they were like manifested, I just thought it was like skin insection. When she hit the guy in the head by mistake, I was like, oh, they're like horns.
They reminded me of giraffe horns.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Which
I
I
just,
can
whenever they said horns, I was like, "Oh, they are horns. Okay, cool. Yeah, that
yeah,
was my whole thought as far as that went."
yeah. And how fitting is it that Mariner befriended everybody in prison?
I mean, it fits.
Yeah, it fits. That's like
It
spot on.
fits.
Yeah.
That was some of my character issues with this episode. Actually, was that I felt that they had to basically flanderize some of the characters to make the plot work at times, like making Mariner just so reckless that she ended up in prison over and over and over again. I just
Yeah.
kind of thought, yeah, that's the big
Regression.
monument. You put out the fire, and you know, I don't know. I just like that's dumb, and just having Tindy be like overly jealous of
Mm.
Talin.
Of
I didn't think that really did any favors to her character, especially whenever Talin said that thing at the end about, "Oh, all of the things that I've been doing was in order to resurrect our camaraderie." I'm like, Talin, you suck. Not Talin, Tindy, you suck.
So do you believe that? Oh, you kitty time.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the choice to have both of them as the science officer was a mistake? Then
No, I thought
no.
that was perfect. I'm shipping them
Okay.
now. I'm calling them Talindi.
Talindi. Wow.
Talindi.
There you go.
Yes.
Talindi. An
Yeah.
ultimate
Yep.
science officer. Talindi.
Yes. Talindi.
Talindi. I also think that we had an amazing experience with the if you remember, if you've seen Interstellar, we had an amazing experience with science in this episode because the way that the planet's gravitational pull was going, time moved more slowly than what was happening on the starship, which I thought was really cool, and it reminded me of Interstellar, and of course Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about that further. So I thought that actual science was really cool that they added into this episode, and also kind of gave us the the whole inner light backdrop that I thought was hysterical.
It's funny because Interstellar reminded me of Voyager's blink of an eye, but
Oh,
whatevs.
what?
I'm
So
I'm sure that Christopher Nolan didn't watch Star Trek.
Oh, you think not? I think he might have watched Star Trek once or twice.
That was my joke, Joe.
Oh, is he a big Star Trek fan? I don't really know anything about Christopher Nolan.
No, I'll ask him
big
next time I have a. Next time I have him for dinner, I'll ask him.
Oh, okay. Let me know. I'm looking forward to
Okay.
finding out the answer to that. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Captain's Quadrant. We really appreciate you hanging out with us and spending your time on this Friday night after Turkey Day. I hope you guys had some great Black Friday deals. Did you get anything awesome for Black Friday for your family?
I honestly had no intention of going out Black Friday shopping, and then I needed an Ethernet cable. So I went to Walmart about 8 or 9 this morning because I wake up early, and it was kind of dead. There was not a lot of people there because this is the 21st century and we do all that stuff online now. But I did find this gigantic stuffed Lilo and Stitch doll, and it was only $20. So I bought it and brought it home, and all my kids are like, "Daddy, who's that for?" I'm like, "It's for me. Get away from me." It is. I love Stitch. So I've got like this big Stitch collection, and he's going in my collection.
That's hilarious. You Stitch denied for all the children.
Yeah.
You know, my little cousin, there's a BJ's wholesale club, and now that I'm guardian of my cousins, Amy took the kids to BJ's, and they had this giant bear, and like my little cousin who's a wrestling fan was like doing all these wrestling moves to the giant bear, and then my wife was like, "Put it down. We're not buying it." And he thought for sure he was getting it, and it's like, no, you're way too close to Christmas. No more gifts. You have to focus on your studies.
Buy it for him for Christmas.
Why?
Because you will make his day.
If it's still there, we'll do it. There you go.
Well,
now I know what to get him. All right. Well, where am I going to hide that? I'm in an apartment. It's going to be tough to hide that.
In the trunk of your car.
I have an SUV. You've been in my car. You can see right through it.
In the back of your SUV. In a black plastic bag. Tell him it's trash.
It's just it's all the garbage that's been in my car for
it's just garbage. Yeah, they're not going to take it out. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they don't take out the garbage much.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine that's the one time he does take out the garbage. Oh, I threw that thing out for you. Oh,
how dare you!
Yeah,
well, that was your gift. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Well, again, that's going to wrap it up. If you stayed with us that long, I really appreciate you. And if you could please like, share, and subscribe. It costs you nothing and does us so much great. And it's free. You don't have to drop a penny. You just have to click a button, a like button, a share. It would mean so much. It would help us so much. And he's going to play his inner light flute. That's another joke that I really love. She kept breaking the flute, putting it back together.
You do not know how to play that. Yes, I do.
It sounded more like
that's what makes Talin so funny is just her deadpan reaction to everything. I just love that.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week as we dive into more Lower Decks then. Live long and prosper.